let me show you something. These are commentators from Renegade Tribune. It's a website. See, all the real alternative news are mostly all censored, while the controlled opposition ones are free to yak away and label, that Ukrainian civilians are bad guys. So this guy Malcolm, he doesn't have a clue. Calling Russians mongoloids. Tell me you're an Eastern European without telling me you are an Eastern European. So there's Heaven's reply to Malcolm. Russia doesn't only have Russians who are now a minority in their own nation. Why don't you waste your time in the KGB-controlled alternative right circles rather than here? Another reply to Malcolm. You might as well classify today's people of Russia as mongoloids, or as I like to refer to them, Slavo-Mongols. This is due to Russia being invaded and conquered by the Mongolian invaders back in the 13th, 14th centuries, leaving a significant non-European genetic remnant in the general population of Russia permanently, tainting and degenerating their gene pool, encouraging subhumanity, brutality, and degeneracy. You can actually clearly see the remnants of the Mongol genetics in the population of Russia in DNA studies even today. Russia, throughout its history, would pursue expansionist policies incorporating many non-European peoples residing in Siberia, Mongolian descendants. Kazakhstan, Turkic peoples, Turkic, Arabic, Muslim populations, and would not take measures to prevent the mixing of these elements into general Russian populace, resulting in further dilution of the genetic makeup of the pure white Russians. The last nail in the coffin for any remnant of European Slavic Russia would be Bolshevik Revolution and the genocides that occurred as a result, which as consequences led to the mass immigration of millions of Russians to Western Europe. Many would flee to Germany. And actually support Hitler and North America, as well as the extermination of the anti-communist intelligentsia and nobility monarchist element that refused to flee, and also to add the many ordinary people which were murdered in communist repressions. Even today, true Slavic Russians are becoming more and more scarce, as if the 20th century wasn't enough, with many skilled workers and Russians that are against the regime fleeing the country. Okay, a little bit too far. Okay. against the regime fleeing the country. In conclusion, I would say that Russia is mostly a non-European state, but that is not to say that all Russians are mongoloids and communists, as there are examples of anti-Bolshevik and in many ways European Russians that know the truth and would be compatible with our world vision. Over 1 million Russians joined the Wehrmacht during the war against the Soviet Union. However, as it stands, Russia is a threat to Europe, and its government must be replaced. And policies applied to Europeanize the population and secure an eastern bulwark against Asia, China most importantly. If this cannot occur, or no significant resistance to Jewry across the next 2 decades, I theorize that Europe would be split up between the subhuman hordes of invaders from other countries, Arabia, Africa, in North Africa, I would say, because that's where the Arabs are, Western Europe, from Western Europe, Germany, France, UK, and eventually Eastern Europe, which the dark skins tend to avoid because of the poor economical conditions and actual anti-immigration sentiment from the local population. For instance, Poland would be invaded and conquered by the Slavo-Mongol hordes of Russia. They're probably going to be next on the list. Listen up to anybody who's Polish out there. Probably going to be the next Ukraine invasion. It's going to be the Polish invasion by Russia. That's probably true. Repeating the World War II scenario and possibly assisted by China, which is true. Russia and China are the New World Order when the West is no longer capable of repelling their onslaught. This is why they want you to get the jabs. You're incapable of fighting when you're jabbed up, stupefied. So Igor replies, he's a Russian. Yes, many Western people underestimate Mongoloids, as most in the West are elites from their countries. Here in Russia, most Mongoloids are dangerous thugs and very violent, and we even have a Korean minority who are dangerous and form bands of criminals. Russia is a hellhole. Believe me, many ethnic Russians like myself are fed up. Right? That's the truth. That's what's happening. Don't fall for those alternative news website bullshit. Bullshit. They're not going after the labs in there. They're going after white civilians, replacing them. They're replacing the whole of Europe. They're replacing us, North Americans. Mass immigration. Do you understand? Who is controller of all the world wars? Who's this guy? China controls. Who's that? The Russian Tsar? Japan? I don't know who she is. Is it the German guy? I don't know who he is or who she is. But you see, the Hong Lodge is the head of the New World Order. He's the guy who wants all these people killing each other exterminated. Understand what happens. What do you think Trump, when he said, well, I'm not a Trump fan. What do you think? Go back and put in your search Trump and China virus. Why do you think he got fucking bashed about that? Oh, that's racist. Oh. It came from China. Damn it. People need to wake up. Who are the soldiers in Berlin? Mostly Mongoloids. Slaughtered and raped women, killing babies. You have no idea. You think the news is telling you the truth? You think the news of the 1940s and 50s are telling you the truth? You think, fake news just happened to be, came out in 2016 when Trump announced president, or was there always fake news? Come on, people, get your heads out of your butts. Okay, here we go. Check this out, folks. Come on, here we go. New Soviet army units in Berlin, mostly Mongolian soldiers. The Red Army. Red. China red. Commies. Rothschilds are kicked out of Russia? Really? Rothschilds are kicked out of Russia? Really? Really now? Is that what they say? Is that what the newspapers say? What the hell is this? They still got the double-headed flag. Huh? Just remember, more like taking over the U.S. Look, time to establish a new world order, says Putin. So what? It was October 29, 2014. It's still the same. With the aim of preventing future conflicts, speaking in an international discussion forum in Sochi, Putin affirmed the immutability of Russia's position and called on the West to enter into dialogue to solve today's problems. Huh. Really now? Zelensky. Best Gentiles, get rid of them. I'm supposed to provoke him, Zelensky says. Putin says I'm supposed to attack. Pure white Russians and Ukrainians will die. Great plan. Thank you. Great plan. Jerusalem Post. At Putin's side, the army of Jewish billionaires. Yeah. Lots of fun. It's always the Nazis, right? It's always that blah, 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 blah. I'll prove to you who the Nazis are. Russia, Israel, united by both nations. Anti-Semitism and anti-manifestations of the xenophobia. So, Putin's on your side. On your side? Oh, this is alternative news. Is telling you this is a Nazi symbol. Really? Look. Huh? Look at that. See the noses? Come on. Stop sleeping. If you're not satisfied on the left, we'll swing you to the right. If you're not satisfied on the right, we'll swing you to the left. It does not matter. We control both. Right? We control both. We control both. Choose your side. There's an old photo. Gotta wake up, people. Wake up. The extermination of the white race is real. That's what these wars is about.